What if I told you that one of the biggest battles you may be fighting right now isn't just with the number on the scale, or the stiffness in your knees, or the fatigue that sneaks up on you halfway through the day, but with something silent, hidden in your bloodstream, slowly building over time? Something you can't see, but you definitely can feel its consequences? I'm talking about cholesterol. And if you're over 50, chances are this word has already been whispered in your doctor's office, maybe highlighted on a lab report, maybe even printed in bold letters under high risk. It's a scary word because it's tied so closely to heart attacks, strokes, clogged arteries, the kinds of events that can change life in a heartbeat. And if you've ever lost a friend or family member to heart disease, you know exactly how heavy that reality feels. But here's the hopeful truth. Cholesterol is not some untamable monster. It's not fate written in stone. What you eat today, tomorrow, and every day after has a direct, powerful effect on lowering cholesterol that's protecting your heart and giving you back energy and confidence that aging may have tried to steal. So let's talk about what to eat to lower cholesterol, not in some distant, abstract way, but in a real, practical, and inspiring way that you can start applying the very next time you open your fridge. When I first started paying attention to cholesterol, I'll be honest, I was overwhelmed. Doctors threw numbers at me: LDL, HDL, triglycerides. I heard phrases like bad cholesterol and good cholesterol. But what I really wanted to know was, what should I put on my plate? And maybe you're in the same place. Maybe you've been told your numbers are high. Maybe you're tired of feeling like food is the enemy. Or maybe you're just ready to finally take control of your health instead of waiting for the next prescription to solve everything. Let me share what I've learned and experienced in a way that makes sense. Because once I began to change how I ate, the numbers on my blood test started moving in the right direction, and so did my quality of life. First, let's break down the basics. Cholesterol itself isn't evil. Your body actually needs cholesterol. It helps build hormones, cell walls, even vitamin D. The problem is when LDL, the so-called bad cholesterol, gets too high, it sticks to the lining of your arteries like sludge in a pipe. Over time, that buildup narrows the space for blood to flow. Imagine a garden hose with dirt clogging it. The water still moves, but the pressure builds and the risk of bursting increases. That's essentially what's happening inside our blood vessels. But here's the good part. Food can act like a cleaning crew. Certain foods literally help sweep LDL out of your system, while others protect your arteries and even raise HDL, the good cholesterol, that works like a garbage truck carrying excess cholesterol back to the liver to be processed. So, what should you eat? Let's start with fiber, because if there's one nutrient that deserves a standing ovation for heart health, it's fiber. Soluble fiber found in oats, beans, lentils, apples, pears, and barley binds with cholesterol in your digestive system and helps flush it out before it ever reaches your bloodstream. I remember the first time I swapped my sugary breakfast cereal for a simple bowl of oatmeal, topped with berries and a sprinkle of nuts. At first, it felt like a small, almost boring change. But over the weeks, I noticed I wasn't crashing mid-morning. My digestion felt smoother. And when I went back for my next blood test, my LDL had dropped noticeably. That was the moment I realized that food wasn't just calories. It was medicine, slow, steady, and powerful. If you're watching this and you're nodding because you've tried oatmeal but maybe got bored of it, here's my tip. Mix it up. Try overnight oats with almond milk and cinnamon, or add chia seeds for extra fiber. The point is, keep fiber on your plate every single day. Now let's talk about fats, because for years we were told fat was the enemy. Low-fat everything lined the supermarket shelves. But not all fats are equal. In fact, some fats are essential to lowering cholesterol. Monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, the kind found in olive oil, avocados, nuts, and fatty fish like salmon, actually help lower LDL and raise HDL. Think of them as the repair team for your arteries. I still remember switching from butter to extra virgin olive oil in my cooking. It wasn't just healthier, it tasted richer, more flavorful. And when I started eating salmon twice a week, grilled with lemon and herbs, not only did I feel more satisfied, but I also noticed my joint stiffness easing up thanks to the omega-3 fatty acids. These little adjustments added up in ways I could feel in my body, not just on paper. But we can't avoid talking about the villains too. Processed meats, fried foods, trans fats hiding in packaged snacks, these are like pouring glue straight into your arteries. If you've ever felt sluggish after a fast food meal, That's your body crying out. And the older we get, the less forgiving our system becomes. So, one of the simplest, most powerful steps you can take is to replace, not eliminate, but replace these harmful fats with the good ones. Instead of chips, grab a handful of walnuts. Instead of frying, try baking or air frying. Instead of heavy cream sauces, try tomato based or yogurt based alternatives. Small swaps, big impact. Another unsung hero in the fight against cholesterol is plant sterols and stanols. You'll find them in nuts, seeds, whole grains, and even in fortified foods like certain spreads. They work almost like blockers, preventing cholesterol from being absorbed into your bloodstream. I was skeptical when I first read about this, but after intentionally adding more seeds to my salads, pumpkin, flax, sunflower, I noticed my cholesterol numbers trending down. It wasn't overnight, but month by month, the results showed up. If you're someone who likes simple rules, here's one. Add something green and something crunchy from plants to every single meal. It's easy, it's colorful, and your arteries will thank you. And here's something many people overlook. Your cooking method matters as much as your ingredients. Frying in saturated oils cancels out the benefit of healthy foods. Steaming, grilling, roasting, these bring out natural flavors without drowning your meal in cholesterol-raising fats. I still remember the first time I roasted Brussels sprouts with just a drizzle of olive oil and garlic. They came out caramelized, crispy, delicious. And suddenly a vegetable I once hated became a regular guest on my table. If you've given up on vegetables because you think they're boring, try a new cooking method. Experiment. Your taste buds can change at 50, 60, even 70. Now, I want to pause here and say something important. Changing the way you eat is not about deprivation. It's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the fear that every bite is harming you. It's about discovering flavors that nourish you and protect you. And it's about reclaiming control over your health in a world that often makes us feel powerless. If you've ever felt frustrated because no matter what you do, the scale doesn't budge or your cholesterol stays high, let me encourage you. Don't give up. Each positive choice you make compounds. Each fiber-rich meal, each heart-healthy fat, each fresh vegetable, it all builds a foundation for better health. And if you're finding value in what I'm sharing, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because we dive into topics just like this every week, always with practical advice you can use right away. And leave a comment if you've ever made a food swap that made a difference in your life. I'd love to hear your story. Another piece of the puzzle is protein. Many of us grew up believing red meat was the ultimate protein source, but too much red and processed meat is linked with higher cholesterol. The good news? There are so many alternatives now. Lentils, chickpeas, tofu, fish, skinless poultry. They're not just substitutes, they're opportunities to explore new flavors. I'll never forget the first time I tried a lentil stew. At first, I missed the beef, but after a few bites, the richness, the comfort, the way it filled me up without weighing me down, it changed my perspective. Now it's a regular rotation meal, and my numbers thank me for it. Don't underestimate the power of fruits either. Apples, grapes, citrus fruits, and berries are packed with soluble fiber and antioxidants that protect your arteries. They're sweet, they're satisfying, and they're nature's dessert. When I swapped my evening cookie for a small bowl of blueberries, it wasn't just my cholesterol that improved. My energy in the mornings felt sharper, and I started waking up more refreshed. Little choices add up. And let's talk about something simple, but often overlooked: hydration. Water doesn't directly lower cholesterol, but it helps your body function optimally, aids digestion, and keeps everything moving. Sugary drinks, on the other hand, add empty calories and increase triglycerides. So one of the best things you can do for your heart is to make water your best friend. If plain water feels boring, add a slice of lemon, cucumber, or a few mint leaves. It feels refreshing, almost like a spa treatment at home. Of course, food alone is part of the story. Pairing these choices with regular movement, even a 20-minute walk after dinner, amplifies the effect. But the foundation always starts on the plate. And if you're someone who has struggled to make changes, here's my best advice. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Pick one change. Maybe it's switching your breakfast to oatmeal. Maybe it's replacing soda with water. Maybe it's grilling fish twice a week. Start small, build momentum, and let the victories motivate you. I've seen too many people give up because they wanted instant results. But cholesterol is a long game. Think of it as gardening. You plant seeds today, water them tomorrow, and weeks later you see sprouts. Months later you see flowers, and eventually you have a thriving garden. Lowering cholesterol works the same way. Every healthy meal is a seed, every walk is watering, and over time you will see the bloom in your lab results, in your energy, in the way you breathe easier, move freer, live longer. So if you're watching this and you've been feeling discouraged, let me remind you, it's not too late. At 50, at 60, even at 70, your body responds to kindness. Your arteries respond to nourishment. Your heart responds to care. You have the power to lower your cholesterol, protect your health, and live with vitality. And it starts with simple choices on your plate. As we wrap up, I want you to imagine a future version of yourself. Imagine sitting with your grandchildren, laughing without worrying about shortness of breath. Imagine traveling, walking through airports, climbing stairs, feeling steady and strong. Imagine your doctor smiling as they tell you your cholesterol is finally under control. That future is possible. It's within reach. And it begins with what you choose to eat today. So here's my challenge for you. This week, commit to one heart-healthy food swap. Just one. Maybe it's oatmeal for breakfast, salmon for dinner, an apple instead of a cookie, or olive oil instead of butter. Write it down, commit to it, and see how you feel. Then share it with us in the comments below. I want this to be a place where we learn from each other, where we inspire each other, where we prove that age is not a barrier to health, but an opportunity to live wiser. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about, because together we can spread hope, knowledge, and encouragement. You don't have to fear cholesterol. You don't have to feel powerless. You have the tools right at your fingertips in your kitchen. And with every bite, you're writing the story of your future health. Let's make it a story of strength, vitality, and joy.